first permanent road course of this season here at Barber Motorsports Park. The green flies, and Grosjean leads this star-studded field of green.
Great start from Romain Grosjean, side by side behind him as Pato O'Ward tries to go on the outside of Alex Palou, and I think he's going to pull that off. He'll have a great run on Grosjean now into 5.
Oh, Palou's looking good here with a run already. No push to pass, but he has the draft going to the brake zone.
And he's on those softer compound tyres. He said they should work well. And Grosjean runs wide. It opens the door not only for O'Ward, but for Palou. Look at this, wheel to wheel on the opening lap. Grosjean's got the better line and keeps the lead.
Oh, and Palou snuck it inside Pato O'Ward, so Palou was patient but pounced when it mattered.
The patience I love there is out of Pato O'Ward. It would have been so easy for him to just turn in after he was cleared by Romain Grosjean, with Palou just sneaking in there side by side now through the chicane. That's a tough place to do that.
Pink car with Simon Pagenaud on the green and black machine, Callum Ilott.
As we see McLaughlin in the pits now. As you said, Marty, all these Penske's are doing this 3-stopper, looking for that clean air and fast lap times.
Coming your way, Kevin Lee.
And when I talked to Scott before the race, I think he was being honest and said, I'm not sure which way we're going to go. We have a couple of different options. It depends on what happens in front of me. He said, what I definitely want is I want it to stay green. That increases things. It's going to increase the entertainment of this race. So McLaughlin, who started on primaries, unlike those around him, is back out. Will Power, who started more towards the mid-pack, is also out. By the way, he told us yesterday in qualifying they're ready for an engine change. He's a little bit down on power just because it's not as fresh as some others. He's going to try to do what he can and just salvage some points today.
A lot of teams changing their engines after today to prepare for the month of May. Fresh power for the Indy Grand Prix and then the big track.
I wonder what Pato O'Ward is thinking, looking in his mirrors, knowing full well how mad Dixon still is about Long Beach. Dixon's been on him the whole race. Still 60 laps for Dixon to just prowl back there and wait for his chance.
Guys, you rarely want to look in your mirror and see Scott Dixon. If you're Pato O'Ward today, it's the last person you want to see. Just knowing what's happening is now Dixon's having to defend against Christian Lundgaard, who's on those alternate tires. Christian needs to pounce now if he's going to make this swap stick. And the leaders are in.
That's for position. Here is Grosjean.
29 laps in the books. Romain Grosjean has led every one of them so far. Those primary tires going on. Alex Palou at the front end of pit road going to primaries as well. We'll see the race here. Look at that. A long stop for the 10. Ericsson also in. And Grosjean with a good jump here on pit road.
There's Grosjean. Here comes Alex Palou. There's Pato O'Ward. That's close. Super close between the Ganassi and the McLaren.
Oh, this is going to be spicy down to turn 5, Townsend, side by side through 4, Palou in the marbles.
Pato's got the advantage, hot tires, and Palou had to run wide through the dirty section of the track. So nice move from O'Ward. That puts a car between him and Scott Dixon.
That just shows the undercut really worked by pitting a lap sooner, getting out on those fresh primaries. They were able to overtake Pato O'Ward Pato was able to overtake O'Ward.
Check this out, though. Christian Lundgaard, all of a sudden, this Rahal Letterman Lanigan Honda in the conversation with the likes of Ganassi and McLaren. Here comes Christian Lundgaard.
You got to be smart here. I know he wants to pounce, but there are cars battling for position in front. You don't want to make a move. Closing right up. Out of turn 13. Will he dive down the inside? Scott covers.
Dixon defends. He knows that Newgarden style move. And look at this. On the last turn, Lundgaard pounces and gets Scott Dixon. That's a savvy move.
That was a beautiful pass from Christian Lundgaard. Rico, his strategist, telling him, yeah, that was nice. But guys, we got to think big picture
here.
Well,
because Lundgaard pitted on lap 28 on the early side. So to make that stretch to the end, he's really got to figure out some ways to coast.
He just asked back to the team what number. He wants to know for sure, so he gets on it.
Yeah, that'd be a useful piece of information right now.
Joseph Newgarden out in front. Remember, he's on that 3-stop strategy.
Yeah, it's a good time to remind ourselves, where do things shake out? Let's take a look at this graphic to summarize right now as they run the top 3 drivers on the 2-stop. That's Grosjean, O'Ward, and Palou. The top 3 on the 3-stop strategy. Newgarden on board now with McLaughlin and Alexander Rossi. How does it play out? Well, if you're on a 3-stop strategy, you need to end up on that before the final stop with about a 30-second delta. because you've got 2 more stops to go for everybody else's 1 stop.
And right now, if you look at it, Newgarden leading, Grosjean down in 7th. It's a 22-second gap at the moment. And you got to think, for the entire race, Joseph can drive a ferocious pace if he wants to, even when these pit cycles happen. All those 2-stoppers are still going to have to be conserving fuel.
So that's the number to watch. The delta between Newgarden and Grosjean for right now. Newgarden needs to grow that to about 30 seconds on this stint.
Oh, you see Newgarden there, just had to catch his PPG Chevy. Here's a replay from a couple of laps ago. David Malukas in the red, black and white HMD Motorsports with Dale Coyne Racing Honda up against the man who has led 30 laps here today, Romain Grosjean. This was close between the 200 drivers at turn 5.
Didn't happen there, but David Malukas does get him later and is now running in front on the 3-stop strategy.
But that's important for Grosjean's team to remind him, hey, they're on a completely different strategy. They have to do it on pace. Don't get too caught up in defending here. Grosjean got caught up in defending right there, James.
He sure did, but David Malukas now down into turn 5, a little bit further alongside this time. Maybe a little bit of a...
That was a show of force.
Oh,
look at that.
Teammates have swapped positions. McLaughlin gets ahead of Joseph Newgarden, and Newgarden looks like he's got his hands full with that PPG Chevy.
2 more laps. Oh!
That's why. We saw it on the previous lap, and it was going away from him. Newgarden is in for the second of 3 stops.
Well, he's got 2 more laps on his tires than McLaughlin. Marty, Newgarden bailing out of this one, coming in for freshies.
But all within the range of what they had planned to do all along. Newgarden has really struggled on the alternate tires, even though they're going to go to another set of alternate tires here. These are going to be scuffed alternate tires going on for Joseph Newgarden. I would expect this stint to be even shorter. Remember, he has that issue from earlier in the race with the right rear suspension, so you got to wonder if that is playing a part here in the handling as well for the 2 car.
Let's take a look at the replay of McLaughlin making the move on his teammate into that fast section. Newgarden really doesn't try to defend. Now, got to wonder, why is Newgarden going to use reds? That's because he only has to do 22 laps to make it to that window for his final stop, presumably on sticker blacks, as there is a stalled car, the 51 of Stingray Robb.
The Biohaven car has come to a stop. Is this going to bring out the first full course caution?
Did Tim Cindric see this happening and call Newgarden in? Alexander Rossi dives into pit lane. They're going to try to get here before that yellow comes, and Scott McLaughlin, the leader, in as well.
If you're a 3-stopper, you want a box right now.
Kevin, it was a caution last year that undid the 3-stop strategy cars. Will it play in their favor today?
As we watch them come in, Scott McLaughlin, by the way, right before he passed Joseph Newgarden, was told, this is working, trying to explain the strategy to the drivers too. He said, we need to pick up another 8 seconds to make this work out to a win. McLaughlin out first, then Rossi in this group.
Grosjean will lead this field to green, but how long will he stay in the lead? Here we go.
Pretty good jump from Grosjean. He only has to go about 17 more laps to make his last stop to get to the end. But McLaughlin will be pressing hard.
And it's the 2 guys who gave us that ultimate theater on the streets of St. Petersburg to start the year. McLaughlin and Grosjean going for the win again. Here's Alex Palou defending from Christian Lundgaard, and Lundgaard does the over and under beautifully.
Remember, no push to pass yet, and what a great move from Christian Lundgaard on those softer alternate tires to go around the 2021 Series champion. Great driving.
Think about what a relief it is for Rahal Letterman-Lanigan to see that high-V Honda up there and Lundgaard leading the charge for the team.
As you see Romain Grosjean's crew ready to go.
Here he is. That Delaware Life Honda is in. Great job, Romain Grosjean, Marty. He withstood quite a bit of pressure for a long time.
It has been a dominant performance, Diff. He has led all but 9 laps here at Barber Motorsports Park, pitting with 31 laps to go. 0 complaints when they were on the primaries. Can the crew deliver what should be the final stop of the day in quick fashion? They do, Kevin.
Pato O'Ward comes in from third, just a few stalls behind him. So he makes it a 2-stopper. He's going to take a turn of runway onto the primaries for the last stint.
So crucial now for Scott McLaughlin to push. We got to take a look at his lap times when he comes back around. Use the push to pass. Use what's left of those alternate tires and try to see if he can leapfrog Romain Grosjean.
McLaughlin has a pristine half racetrack to himself right now as Newgarden, I don't know how much longer he's going to hold off Scott Dixon and Will Power. They are ready to get by, urgent to get by.
And Alexander Rossi, the last car in that shot you see on the right. Felix Rosenquist is growing impatient as well. By the way, Christian Lundgaard pitted. Here's Dixon. Dixon on the inside of Newgarden. Whoa, just squeezes the PNC Bank Honda in there. And here, that causes a traffic jam. They're swamping Newgarden.
Keep going, you're fine.
Here's McLaughlin in. Race leader is in. Now we put our eyes on Romain Grosjean. And watch where these two guys come out. One Honda driver, one Chevrolet driver, where they join on the racetrack. Kevin, here comes McLaughlin.
It should be really close, and I think you guys are right. I think this is a lap or two earlier than they wanted. They wanted to get a bigger gap. McLaughlin's car has been great. He's got primary Firestones to go to the rest of the way. No fuel save concerns, so he can go harder than Grosjean. And let's watch the blend as he heads back out on track.
Still on that pit stop speed limiter. Pit exit is like going off a ski run right here. You go off and downhill, and here comes Romain Grosjean.
This is going to be good. McLaughlin comes out ahead, but on cold tires, and Grosjean is going to be pushing 100% for the next couple corners.
Turn 5.
Take whatever you want.
Turn 5, here we go, setting up. This is where the race was won a year ago with Pato Award and Rinus VeeKay from a long way back, but he's not close enough.
It's St. Pete, take two, guys, version 2.0. McLaughlin, one lap colder on tires. Grosjean on the button, doesn't quite have the run into turn 8 here, but it's not over yet. If McLaughlin can keep him behind through turn 16, he goes wide here. Not going to get it. It's a flat-out chicane they're heading to. God, this is as close as you want, Townsend.
Tough to make a move, especially going into the fastest and gnarliest section right here. Watch McLaughlin up ahead drop into the valley.
Romain Grosjean's got to do a Joseph Newgarden-style move. Inside opportunity coming up. Can he get his car tight to the right? Tight to the right. No, McLaughlin blocks that.
Watch him try to cross it up and make it happen right here.
Oh, inside. Romain Grosjean wheel to wheel with Scott McLaughlin for the lead.
Fantastic stuff.
That's the kind of move you want to see. Aggressive but calculated. And Scott McLaughlin gave him just enough room to pull it off. The 28 to the point.
That was awesome. Set up, thought about, and executed perfectly by Romain Grosjean.
And you have to wonder how much additional respect McLaughlin felt like he owed Grosjean from St. Pete. He gave him just enough room to keep it safe. But boy, it's got to sting for McLaughlin. So 19 laps to go here at the line for Grosjean. And we always make a lot of Team Penske's strength on pit lane, and thanks to NTT, we can take a look back on that last round of stops and compare McLaughlin and Grosjean on pit time differential. The advantage was to Grosjean on the in-lap, but time on pit lane, Team Penske did really well. Grosjean strong on the outlap. The advantage to Grosjean, just a tick, 4/10 to the good, thanks to NTT, as Grosjean goes way wide.
Way wide. Oh, and almost comes back in. That turn 5 spot is a real handful for Grosjean. There's going to be a new race leader. His name is Scott McLaughlin.
With no push to pass left, there was absolutely nothing Romain Grosjean could do. Scott got on the button, easily cleared him into turn 8, and to the lead go the Thirsty Threes.
With 21 seconds to push to pass, and you got to think Grosjean's heart just sunk there.
Yep. Is it going to be second again? Scott McLaughlin begins the final 2.3 miles with a comfortable lead. He got his first IndyCar Series win last year on the streets of St. Petersburg. Followed it up with 2 road course victories at Mid-Ohio and at Portland. So this will be his 4th career win and 4th different circuit. New Zealand motorsport fans will celebrate because their man here is bringing it home. Scott McLaughlin wins at Barber Motorsports Park and makes it 4 different winners. 4 different winners to start this year. And McLaughlin says the Thirsty Threes to the moon, boys. That's what he calls his crew. The Thirsty Threes. He pipped his teammate yesterday in qualifying, Joseph Newgarden, to make the Firestone Fast 6 with a just dynamic last lap to make the cut. And he's done it here for the victory for the first time at this racetrack. To the checkered flag. The Thirsty Threes are in victory lane, and Marty Snyder, Scotty Mack, is ready to celebrate.
I'm sure an exhausted Scotty Mack after a three-stop strategy today, pushing the entire time. As Ben Bretzman on the radio, his engineer told him, though, he said, how much better is that to be on attack all day long? He gets his first win of 2023, and good timing. The month of May starts tomorrow. You can see Scotty Mack inside. The team happy. The sponsors are happy as well. Scott, you can go ahead and get out. Scotty, you can get out, yeah. Scott McLaughlin, a winner. At Barber Motorsports Park. He's not doing the roll. He said he was going to give that up. That's an accidental thing that happened after his first win at St. Pete. Ben Bretzman, his engineer, with a big hug in there. So Ben told you after the checkered flag, how much better was that to be on offense all day long in that three-stop strategy versus saving fuel?
I call it a happy driver strategy. I was a lot happier doing that, but I'm so thankful. First weekend for Good Ranchers on the car. What an amazing thing for them to be with us this weekend. My team advanced me to victory lane there. We had great fuel. Went past Grosjean there on a little bit of strategy, advanced past him, and I feel really good about it. So really happy to advance to victory lane and be really pumped about it.
I want to ask you about the battle with Grosjean. Was St. Pete in the back of your mind thinking, man, I got to give him a lot of room. I don't want to run into him again.
Nah, we're racers. You just get on with it. As good as your last race, you get on with it. We're men. We talked over man to man, and as far as I'm concerned, and he's concerned, we race hard and fair and press on, and there's no hard feelings between the two of us. But I'm glad to get a win here for Thirsty Threes. It's been coming. We've been close. We just didn't quite get it the last few rounds, but we got it now.
Boy, these numbers may shock you, but +6 in the championship standings, now fourth, just 11 out of the championship, and the month of May starts tomorrow. How important is that?
Yeah, May is going to be an awesome time for us. I can't wait. Best race in the world's coming up here soon, and to start end April like this and start May hopefully on a good note is a really proud achievement. But just super proud of my team, the Chevy for the fuel mileage. We had a hell of a strategy there today, and super pumped. Hey, Mum and Dad at home, Carly at home as well, and see you guys soon. I got to tell you that your Good Ranchers, first race with them, they're going bananas here in Victory Lane. You got a lot of Cowboys that are happy. Well, they had a lot of Cowboys last night having a few drinks. I know that for sure. Hopefully they've got enough juice to have another party tonight.
Scott McLaughlin picks a very good time to get his first top 5 of the year. It's a win at Barber Motorsports Park, Kevin.
This guy knows something about winning. There's that's one more races than him. Unfortunately, today was not number 54, Scott. What were you looking for? What do you look back when you start to think about how we maybe could have made a little bit better? What turned out to be a decent day?
Yeah, it was pretty average, to be honest. Frustrating. I think we were kind of at the back of the 2-stoppers, so then we were defending the whole time against the 3-stoppers. So the whole first stint was just getting blasted by McLaughlin that was trying to overtake, so then you're on the OT a lot. Which makes it difficult to get the fuel, and then the Lundgaard crossover when he went to red. So it was just one of those days where we were constantly fighting for not really much, and unfortunately ended up losing 2 spots there. So tough day. I think the car had good pace all weekend, which is definitely a good thing to take away from it, but obviously not where the PNC Bank number 9 wants to finish.
These are always tight quarters racing, and it looked like how much did you mix it up today? I saw a little bit of side-by-side, especially at the end of one of the pit exchanges with somebody you had a little coming together with a couple of weeks ago in Pato O'Ward.
Yeah, I don't think I got too close to Pato. I had one with Joseph and then Lundgaard, and then I think even with Felix and maybe Rossi. So there was a bit of action there, but nothing too crazy. And I think everybody kind of, we touched a couple of times, but nothing, out of character. So that part was fun, but the rest of it, when you're stuck on the 2 and trying to get big fuel numbers, it's not the most exciting day.
All right, thanks, Scott. We'll see you in Indy a couple of weeks.
The other Marcus with Ganassi Racing is Marcus Armstrong, and I'm breaking news to him because he gets a trophy for biggest mover of the race. Plus 15. How about that? You said, wait, I finished 11th. I get a trophy for that? That's a cool accomplishment.
Do I get a trophy for the 10th loser, or is this what is the reason?
Biggest mover. You gained 15 spots today.
Oh, how good. I didn't realize you get a trophy for this, but hey, thanks.
Yeah, it's a big accomplishment. How physically demanding was this racetrack? You told me a moment ago, I'm not used to having a water bottle in the car, so I didn't use it the entire day.
I keep forgetting that I have a drinks bottle in the car. I haven't had that before in my career, so unless someone actually reminds me to use it, I don't use it. But I mean, I felt physically quite good, so yeah, nice.
You came in here with a lot of confidence, saying this is a lot like Europe. Did it play out the way you thought you would with this race?
Today was great. I mean, I think we had a really good car package in general. Like, we could move through, we could overtake. Not many people could, I don't think, just due to the layout of the circuit, very fast and flowing. But unfortunately yesterday we had a penalty in quali, so we couldn't start where we should have. But I mean, I'm happy because we obviously were the biggest mover according to this trophy. So overall, it was a good day.
A lot of people will say Barber and the Indy GP, a lot of European similarities. Do you kind of feel the same way when you look at the Indy road course, which is the next race?
It is the next race. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's what all my F2 buddies have told me, that it is very smooth, and the track feels really similar to a couple of the European circuits. So I'm looking forward to that one, and I think Road America as well is going to be something that I'm somewhat used to.
Rookie of the Year leader. He continues to impress. Dave, nice performance from Marcus Armstrong today.
That's the look of a winner right there. 29-year-old New Zealander Scott McLaughlin of Team Penske. The fourth different winner from 4 races this season in the NTT Indycar Series. Yeah, it's time to celebrate on the podium. That was a very clever and strategically perfectly executed race. Well done to the 3 team from Team Penske. Hey, time for the Advance Auto Parts checkered flag moment of the race. McLaughlin did exactly what he needed to do at exactly the right time to put that Good Rancher Chevrolet in the ideal position. How about that? That's the smile of a winner right there. Awesome performance, and that gives Roger Penske's team its 7th victory at this track from 13 races. That is a healthy winning percentage. Welcome back, folks. Our coverage continues right to the top of the hour. Lee Diffie, along with our IndyCar experts, James Hinchcliffe and Townsend Bell. T-Bell, you up first. What do you make of that one?
Well, I think I make of great strategy with Team Penske, understanding and gambling a bit because everybody else was unsure. It seems like they knew from the outset that the 3-stop strategy was going to work. And when you see McLaughlin here in victory lane, it was really kind of smooth sailing for him all day. He felt like it looked like he was in control, and he drove that way all the way to the finish. There was some drama in the middle, but James, I really think when we saw all the Team Penske's stop at about lap 15, they were all committed to the 3-stopper. It's like they knew what was going to happen.
Well, I think the fact that they all started on primaries was a big indicator as well. And I just love that they did that. I mean, Scott McLaughlin said it. It's the happy driver strategy. From the driver's seat, when you know going into it, hey, this is going to be a long day of fuel saving, man, it makes for a really long, tough day behind the wheel. But when they say, look, we're going to give you lots of tires, we're going to give you lots of fuel, go get after it all day long, it's the best.
Because drivers like to drive,
exactly.
Race, go fast. And that's why he's smiling. That's why he's talking about that happy driver's strategy. Go for it. Put your foot to the floor. And that's exactly what McLaughlin has done points-wise. Look to the middle column there. +5. Scotty Mack makes a big leap into the top 5 in 4th place. Marcus Ericsson came into this round boasting a 15-point advantage. Now that's shrunk considerably. O'Ward is now just 3 behind. Alex Palou 9 behind. And then you have Romain Grosjean nicely in the top 5. Of course, gaining a position there and ready to roll. So how do you feel that sets up, Hinch, going into the month of May?
I mean, I'm looking at a top 10 all within 1 race win of points. I mean, that's an incredibly close section for this part of the season already, Townsend. If this many races down, 4 races in, to have Colton Hurd at 10th, still within just 1 race win of the top. It's incredible.
Well, as we get to the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indy 500 at the end of May, I look to Joseph Newgard. I mean, when he tested just last week, he looked utterly dominant out on track.
Yeah.
It was practice, but the way he carved through traffic, the smile on his face at the end of the test suggests that he's going to be awesome there.
Can I just tell you how much has changed in the space of a year for the reigning Indianapolis 500 champ Marcus Ericsson? At this stage last year, he was 60 points behind the then points leader. So this guy, he is in the prime of his IndyCar career. Fellas, I know that you're as pumped up about that as I am. It's the biggest race of the IndyCar season.
Yeah, month of May is always special, but I tell you, I wish I could stay here just a few more days before we get to Indiana because this place, Barber, is always so special. You really feel like you're privileged to just walk here, be here. We get the same feeling when we go to the greatest spectacle in racing.
We sure do, guys, and I just love when the calendar flips over to May 1st. It really just changes the atmosphere in the whole IndyCar paddock. The whole city of Indianapolis really turns it up a gear, and I know we start with the GP, all building towards the 500 like you said, but guys, it's here. It is now May.
And there's going to be 34 entrants, 34 trying to qualify for the 33 spots. And remember, you can check out on NBCSports.com/Indy500, and it's going to happen every Friday about our official countdown, the top 10 Indy 500s. Our team of experts have been on that voting panel. It's a lot of fun working through the top 10. Look at that, Scotty Mack there with some young fans, including a Grosjean fan. Oh, the Grosjean fan leaves him hanging. Some harsh love there for the race winner, Scott McLaughlin. What a day it was here at the Augusta of Motorsports, Barber Motorsports Park. Fantastic stuff. Hey, coming up next, it's your local news, except on the West Coast. First road course of the year was one to remember, and it all leads up to an exciting month of May. Thanks so much for watching the NTT IndyCar Series here on your home of motorsport, NBC. Enjoy your Sunday night, and we'll see you in the month of May.